All right. Hello, everybody. So here today, we've got myself, Tim Stiling, who is going to be a referee for a wonderful debate that we have coming forward between three esteemed industry experts. We have Lance Knight, President and COO here at ConnectALL. We have Andrew Faqua, the VP of Products at ConnectALL. And we have Eric Robertson, the SVP Senior Strategic Advisor at ConnectALL. So although we're all ConnectALL folks here, I really want to make the point clear that you guys are not representing ConnectALL today. You are representing Lance, Andrew, and Eric. How do you guys feel about that?
I have the shirt.
He's got the shirt on there.
I think as president and everything, the three of us always represent ConnectALL. However, we all have our own points of view. We all have a particular take on things. And it's fun to get on a webinar like this and debate those things. But let's remember, I'm always right.
That's rule number one of today.
Taking that back, Andrew's always right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if anyone disagrees with Andrew, I'm throwing a flag for a personal foul.
There you go. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and dive on in. So what we're going to be talking about today is just the general topic. Value stream management is not a feature. So what is it? One of the things that I do want to encourage is that as we're having this conversation today, your questions, your thoughts, and your feedback are extremely welcome. Because if there's something that one of our esteemed hosts today says that you disagree with, or if there's something that you want them to elaborate on, or if there's a point that you want to say, yeah, Eric's right, Lance and Andrew, you guys are completely wrong, or vice versa.
That's all right.
You're welcome to do that. So just to give you an idea of how today is going to be set up, first of all, these are all open-ended questions. So I'm not going to accept just a yes or a no. You got to expand on your answers, guys. And so with these questions, we really want to hear your opinions, your thoughts. We want to hear about what you think that the audience needs to know about that particular question. So this is the time to air out your own opinions and to say why you're right and everyone else is wrong. So again, audience questions and comments are extremely encouraged. So if you have anything that you want to post to the public chat, you are certainly welcome to. You should see the chat functionality on the right-hand side of your screen. There's also an area for Q&A as well. So if you have a question that you would like one of our folks to answer today, feel free to submit it as a question, or if you put it in the chat, I'll make sure that it gets added to the Q&A from there. And again, the final point, don't be pressured to toe the company line, gentlemen. So although, as Lance corrected me with, you are representing ConnectALL, you do not need to follow any sort of strict guidance as far as what to say. So you, at the end of the day, have an opinion, and we want to hear it.
Hey, Tim, as you run a lot of our marketing functions, if anybody's not towing the company line on here, could you take some notes on that for me?
Will do. I'll reach out to HR right after this call. So our first question of the day, and kind of the general theme of what we're going to be talking about, do you believe value stream management is a feature? Why or why not? And I will actually go ahead and ask Lance this question first, because I know this is something that one of his statements actually inspired, was this idea of, is value stream management a feature or is it not? So Lance, go ahead and take the floor.
So you're absolutely right, Tim. I spent some time looking at the industry, some of the things that are going on, and I know our perspective. And I've been just being hit with all these things and these different companies coming into the space and saying that we do value stream management. And I look at what they're doing, and it seems to be that seems to me that they're looking at it like this is a feature I can just bolt onto my product and say that I'm in this space. And then I thought a little bit about the messaging we've been using for a while, and that's value stream management is human. And I came together with that and I said, value stream management is not a feature. It's something humans do. Now, value stream management platforms also can have a feature called value stream management, right? But it really is not going in that direction. We shouldn't go in that direction where we say, yeah, we're in the VSM space. We have these features that make us a VSM player or platform. And I can go deeper into that, but it's becoming a core belief of mine that it's not. Humans do value stream management. Value stream management platforms help humans do value stream management, really. It's not a feature. It's not because I can integrate with all these tools into my tool. I'm now a value stream management platform. That's a feature of your platform. So it's an interesting discussion. And I think Andrew has a point of view. We all have a point of view. And I'm just really into this point of view that it's not a feature. It's not, because I do agile planning, I'm not a value stream management tool. And all my agile planning friends, don't take it to me too hard too much. Don't come beat on me too much for that statement. But it's true, right? So if I have a great integration platform, maybe that's true, or a connection platform or something that manages overall total flow, yeah. But if I have a task management system, I can't say that I'm a value stream management tool either. Or if I just really focus on release builds, there's more to value stream management. I would say those things are features of your value stream. So as I'm doing value stream management and I'm looking at how I'm developing software and I'm looking at the tools that are in there and the people and the processes that are in my value stream are all about that. And those tools may be a feature of your value stream. Just like when I was in manufacturing, a machine that was in manufacturing, let's call it a grind machine or a forge press, that's a feature of your value stream. It's not your value stream. That's an interesting and maybe contradictory perspective, but value stream management is human. And how could that be a feature? So no Andrew's going to add, so we're going to let Andrew do that.
Chime onto that. A lot of the things that I see people writing, there's a common pattern. It's like, oh, value stream management gives you this, or value stream management gets you that. Value stream management is great, and they're kind of unsubstantiated claims. They don't tell you how value stream management gives you those things. But then they make, which, those things may or may not be true, but then they make this huge leap and start talking about their tool or their product or their solution or their offering. And they make value stream management sound like a magic bullet, like it's automatic. Like, okay, it's I don't know, is it unkind to say bait and switch? But it's too big of a leap for me to just make a grandiose claim about value stream management and then start talking about a tool. I hope we don't do that, Tim.
No, of course not.
We try not to. I try not to. And maybe I fall into it, and maybe somebody's going to catch me later and say,
well, I want to really differentiate, though, Andrew, of saying a value stream management platform is different than value stream management.
Right.
That's right. And to support where Eric would want to go, yes, OKRs are a big part of helping you decide what to do with your value stream, and they're very important, but they're a part of the value stream, not value stream management. So a good platform should be able to communicate stuff that's in your OKR tool across your whole value stream.
Right.
That's different than saying, I have a value stream management platform. Look, I do OKRs. That's not how that works, in my professional opinion. And I know I've been working with value stream management in this new space as long as everybody else has. So, in my past company, we started this process and so on. And I've been doing value stream management since I worked in manufacturing. You hear that when I talk about it, right? So OKR solution or tool would just be a piece of your value stream. Although at the beginning, as you decide to put through your value stream, but it's a part of it as you decide what to do. So anyway, I'm helping Eric because I know he'll want to talk about OKRs and value streams. So I'm cutting him off at the pass with that. So, and Andrew, I jumped on you again. And I hate that I do that. So did you finish your thought?
Yeah, I did. My next thought though was about, let's give Eric some airtime, and is there not some aspect of, and maybe that's the distinction you can clarify, is there some aspect of the OKRs that might be a part of value stream management, or should you just say that should be the outcome of the value stream?
Yeah, I think if you go back to, I think Lance was making a point about, you were saying that you were doing value stream management in the manufacturing. The irony is that this has been around for a very long time. At least I started reading about it and seeing about it in early 2000. In fact, it was this book, Value Stream Management, 8 Steps to Planning, Mapping, and Sustaining Lean Improvements, I think by Don Tapping and others. But that was published like in 2002. And in there, they talk about value stream management from the lean perspective, and especially lean manufacturing. And they said it's really a continuation of continual improvement. And it's really about taking your strategy and linking it to execution. So it's linking the needs of what top executives are trying to do, right, with the needs of the operations group, right, and the folks and the people in there, like what you were doing, Lance, back then. So in there, measurement metrics is key, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, there's metrics that are at the different levels that flow through. You're going to have your strategic when you have your strategic planning, right? You're going to have your strategic objectives and your business objectives, right? The problem is when it gets translated down to the operation to be operationalized, is a disconnect, right? Mm-hmm. And so what they were doing in manufacturing, I think that same concept, at least that's what I was trying to do very early on when I was working on a value stream management tool. It was a value stream management tool, which was about linking the metrics, the tools, the people aspects, mm-hmm. the measuring together, right? In a value stream. And because when I linked those together, what would we call that? I remember I was working with one of the analysts at the time, and we said, this is bigger than a pipeline, right? That's when we said, this is a value stream, right? Yeah. That's what this is. And I think, and I, was guilty of this as well at the time. What got me going down, the first version of this value stream management tool actually was built from the foundation was a DevOps. I think it was a release management, not a release management. I think they did more of the operational side of the monitoring. And we just extended it with features, right, to connect into tool and connect it to our existing planning tool and our existing DevOps tool, right? But then later on, we started to say, hey, DevOps is hot right now, so let's just go ahead and take our DevOps and expand upon it and try to make that more accessible in the market through marketing, right? So it's more of a marketing aspect that I'm kind of seeing happening rather than a true value stream management platform that's designed what was the original definition that I gave earlier.
Yeah, so I got a key on 2 things you said there. The first one is going to be value stream management itself has actually been around a long time. Now, I just celebrated a birthday, and I believe you, I've been around for a while. And Andrews is coming up in a couple days. He's just a couple days older than I am.
Yeah.
And Tim, I know that you're a little bit younger than all us, but the truth is value stream management has been around longer than Andrew, longer than me, and longer than Eric. And of course, it's been around longer than Tim. And the whole concept of mapping the value stream, removing waste.
Yeah.
I learned that back in the mid 90s when I worked for manufacturing to look at how to do value stream mapping and the metrics and the measurements you do, right, in order to improve. So it's been around for a long time, and now it's finally taking this quantum leap. The second thing I wanted to say that was really interesting when you said it, and it's your DevOps pipeline.
Yeah.
That's part of your value stream.
Right.
Yay, not your whole value stream.
Right.
That's actually a great segue. And I'm sorry, Eric.
To a very popular planning tool that really, if you're lucky, you get, the hierarchy is very limited. So you get stories and maybe a feature in there. Doesn't make you, a value stream.
So that's actually a very good segue into our next question. So if value stream management is not a feature, then what is value stream management?
Hey, since we're having a fun webinar, I told you, Tim, we wouldn't get through all these. So just as long as if you remember. So, that's a great point. I'm not going to start out with the answer.
So I would have to say that value stream management is a systematic way of improving a value stream or improving the delivery of a value stream. The goal of it being the ability to deliver on customer demands more better, to use the phrase. Eric mentioned the book, Tapping's book from back 2002, Value Stream Management. And in there, he's got these 8 steps. They're just basically, to boil them down, it's identify a value stream, learn and implement lean, map out the value stream, make a future state, and then implement Kaizen or implement plan and implement improvements. Yeah. And so to me, I think what he did was took that, instituted a process or a way of becoming a lean organization. He put a label on it because he wanted to call it something. So he called it value stream management. And so he instituted it that way. Yeah. However, I guess that's prior art, and I feel somewhat obliged to tip my hat to it and to go with that. However, my preference is to think of this not as value stream management with capital V, S, and M, but not as a proper noun, but it's as a thing that humans do. And they pull bits of lean, they pull DevOps, they pull Agile, they pull teal organizations and leading change and good to great, or whatever management techniques and books and processes and approaches and techniques from PMI to deliver on customer requirements better. So that's why I'd like to explicitly acknowledge those other things that we ought to pull in and call that art of humans managing a value stream management, or managing a value stream. And I'm a little bit leery of just limiting it to what Tapping said in 2002.
Yes, and that's a very good point, Andrew, because there's other art that takes it more from the business architecture standpoint, right? You may call it like a business architecture value stream, right? Where in the lean value stream world, right, the Tapping's talking about, the primary purpose was to document, analyze, and improve the flow of information or materials that's required to produce a product or service for a customer, right? Is not designed or well suited for the broader architectural purposes, right? Which is decomposing down to the critical activities or stages that are combined to produce value for that stakeholder or human, right? And then being able to map that to enabling business capabilities. And I think this is where things are moving towards, or need to move towards. It's about really enabling those business capabilities. So to me, I think value stream really falls, at least value stream management is going to fall more under the architecture domain, business architecture domain.
Okay. Business architecture as opposed to the software organization. I would say business architecture, to me, when I hear that, I think of operations and operational and a business architect and where they might be business processes and less on the software development processes that are required to support the organization or deliver working tested software. That seems too limiting to me, Eric. What do you think?
Well, I'm talking about really both. I think you're going to need the value streams that pretty much are producing the value, right? Like they're able to enable the business, right? The business capabilities, right? To be able to deliver the value that they're needed to deliver. But you also need the operational and supporting value streams, right? To be able to provide that and operationalize that.
Well, here's a good point to both of what you're talking about. None of this can be a feature in a tool.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You're right. None of it can be a feature in a solution. You're talking about business capabilities and what to do with those capabilities and capability management and capability planning.
Yes.
That's not going to be in anybody's agile planning tool the way you're talking about it.
Yes.
Right? I can have my teams and my resources and my points. I can have my teams designed around development capabilities.
Yes.
Not in the way that you're talking about when I look at this whole value stream, right?
You might have a capability mapping feature in a tool, but it won't do the knowledge work, the human work of putting it to good use.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the guy that says this, Andrew. Value stream management is human.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Comes it right back to it. Human. I've said this before. The human needs to know. Andrew said this. To know about capability planning. They need to know about theories of constraints, lean principles, systems thinking. All those things we used when I was managing and working on a shop floor to make sure that information flows, right?
Yeah.
That is definitely not a feature you're going to get in any solution today.
Interesting. I think step 3, isn't it, Eric, in that 8 steps is learn lean. Actually, a step in the process is to be an expert at lean.
Yes, exactly. And he also, if I can recall, talks about how the people your human is essential part. It is one of the foundations or one of the steps. Invest in your people. That's what it says. Because the whole point he was trying to make is that in a manufacturing environment, the equipment over time is going to lose value, right? So to degrade.
Mm-hmm.
But if you invest in people, the opposite can happen, right? Over time, they could become even more knowledgeable and valuable to producing and supporting the value streams for your business and for your customers. And I think that concept should be translated as well over into the modern value streams management and value streams that we're talking about now.
So what the industry needs not isn't more platforms and more solutions, but more programs to help people become value stream managers by training them on systems thinking, lean principles, all together. So if we want to make value stream management as a space more compelling, those things have to come around, as well as the platforms and the tools, right?
Right.
And the solutions that help with value stream management.
Yes.
So Tim, I don't think we've answered that, but I guess the answer is what we've said for the last year and a half. I remember sitting at a Atlanta bread company, and Andrew and I are working on a speaking slot, which was for Agile. This is for Agile. It was the Chicken Agile or something. I forget, what was that Agile conference, Andrew? Southern Fried Agile.
Sounds delicious.
And he goes, well, value stream management, it's human. And then we've taken that from here. And then he did a speaking slot about what does Agile have to do with value stream management? Anyway, nothing. And it was a great speaking slot. But that's that same point of view here is everybody's saying, I've got a value stream management solution. I'm going to be the next value stream management solution or tool or whatever. It's human. How can we do that? So what's your next question, Tim? Since let's put a period in this. Value stream management is human.
There we go. Coming back to the company line.
Eric.
So since we've
I'm there. I mean, I was when I
Took
went
you a while.
When I went back, I went and looked at the book that we're referring to, and I saw put people first. I said, this. Okay, I see what these guys are talking about now.
I must have written that book.
You're starting to move me over there.
Cool. So kind of establishing that, we have seen a lot of confusion in the industry, and there are a lot of different perspectives going on. I'm sure that a lot of the people on this call have heard lots of different either definitions or different perspectives on value stream management. So just to kind of, based upon what you guys have heard out in the industry and out of the out in the atmosphere around value stream management, what are some of the most egregious definitions or misconceptions, that you've seen, and why are those incorrect, and why should people be leery about identifying it as such?
Eric, you about to say something? I'll chime in if not.
I think I probably said it already, but I think the one that I'm seeing is that kind of what we're talked about, where I have a tool that does one function or category. Let's say, I don't know, build or planning, and by my ability to connect into, let's say, a downstream tool doesn't cover all of the aspects that we're talking about with value stream management. And I think that the value streams that that right now is a lot of the folks are talking about right now is really DevOps value delivery, right? It's really a DevOps value stream, right? A pipeline, essentially.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm seeing in
the thing I think, and this is an interesting perspective, just because I have a great ITSM tool that connects to these other things does not mean I have a value stream management solution. Spokes make a bicycle wheel, right, not a VSM platform. So when you think about flowing information, the misconception is, well, if I integrate all these things into my tool, now I'm a VSM tool. Well, no, you're not. You're not managing you're managing flow through your bottleneck.
Right. Just because I connect it and I measure the flow, I'm good. It's kind
through
of
my bottleneck.
Well, it's kind of like we're all in the car, and
here comes a car story. Everybody, hold on.
Yeah. Well, you heard it. I don't know if anybody else heard it, but everybody gets it, right? It's like I'm in the car, and you're telling me that, oh, look at the cool speedometer, and we could change the radio station and get all kinds of cool different music, and look we could see what the gas level is. It's digital, right? Really cool. And I just want to know, okay, where we're going, why are we going there, and when we need to get there.
Well, I got a different take. It's kind of like when you get on an airplane. Because I want to talk about airplanes. You get on an airplane, you fly all the way, and you guys see these tickets, right? I saw this once. I need to fly to Boston. All right, well, I've got to take an airplane. That airplane's going to take me to Denver and then take me to Boston because that's the hub theory for airplanes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I think some people are looking at value stream management. I have my agile planning tool or my task planning tool. It's here. I'm in my other tool over here. So let's say I want to know, I put in a request. Let's just use Salesforce, right? Yeah. That request has to connect to something down the line to be done. Well, I got to go to Jira, and then Jira sends it back to me, and then I send it over to there. That's not a value stream platform, right? That's a whole different thing. I don't want to put something in here and then have to go there, get calculated, and then go over to this other tool, right? That's a bicycle wheel.
Right.
A value stream management lets flow happen through the whole thing, right? It goes through the whole. So if I put something in here, it's got to go to this team. It'll go to this team in their tool, not to this team in this tool, and then to this team in their tool. It's a whole different point of view, saying that value stream management really is the railroad control, making sure things are moving appropriately and giving the right feedback through that. So that's the misconception. So so great. I'm a VSM tool. I have a great testing tool. So now I'm a VSM tool. Well, I put in my request. It's got to go. It all doesn't make sense to me that it has to all flow through a particular planning tool or a testing tool or a DevOps tool. It should be able to connect in and out and make things flow appropriately.
Yeah. So basically, if I use that analogy back to my car, you're basically saying if I needed to go from Houston to Austin, why are you making me drive to Dallas first? Even though there's no traffic jams, it's going to be, I'm going to get there with no incidents. Cops not going to pull me over. But the question is, why do I need to still go to Dallas to get to Austin?
Right. Or like I pick up the phone and I want to call you. I've got to talk to 3 other people before I get to you.
That I see.
That's true. But the point is these are, I'm the center of the world perspective. Yeah. I'm a value stream management now because I'm the center of the world and I connect to these tools. Well, that's not true. The power is in the connection, but the connection is first, not secondary. Right? That to me is one of these misconceptions that's going on. However, that's a rabbit hole that I think there's other misconceptions that are more important to talk about value stream management than this. And Andrew probably has, and Andrew's going to bring one to us.
Yeah.
Well, so we've switched from talking about what is value stream management to what is a value stream management platform.
Agreed.
So if value stream management is human, how can there be a value stream management platform?
Well, that's a great point. What does a platform do but help the humans manage their value stream better?
Okay.
And a value stream management platform can manage parts of your value stream.
That's a stretch.
Is it? Or is it not?
I thought your whole premise was value stream management's not a feature.
It's not.
So
I said it can help you manage, not do the manage, help you manage.
I don't know. We can rewind the tape on instant replay there, Tim, and get
I'll call New York.
I think you said something different.
I just got to remind you at the beginning of this webinar, I said I'm always right.
That's true. Okay. Can't wait for the replay.
Yeah, but the point, I think what you're trying to say is, what does a platform do? Well, to me, and from my perspective and my point of view, is a value stream management platform is to help humans manage their platform better. It helps me see, Tim, ready? I'm going to put that plug in there. It helps me see, measure, and automate my value stream. That's what a platform does. It gives me the metrics. It gives me the way to automate. I'm the human. I'm doing that. That is a company line. Right, Tim?
Yes, boss. You guys got any more thoughts here, or are you ready for the next question?
I think they're afraid to talk against the C measure automate piece. I don't know.
No. No, so Andrew, what were your point about the platform and the human aspect?
Well,
of this?
my point was just that we started off saying value stream management is not a feature of
Right.
the product. It's a human endeavor. Then it sounded like the conversation was shifted to talking about value stream management platforms. And so what could a value stream management platform do if value stream management is human? I'd like the answer is that it can help the human, as long as we don't lose track of that. And I think to this particular question, and I've alluded to it earlier, is that the definitions that I see are okay. I don't have a problem with the definitions, but people will make a statement about value stream management and then leap to talking about their platform as if it delivers on that promise of whatever they said value stream management does for you. And without making the connection, without explaining how they got to point B from point A, I think it's too big of a leap.
Yeah, it's basically focusing on the solution without really understanding the problem, right? And until you really understand the domain around the problem, then the solution may not be able to suffice, right? And I think another big mistake is a lot of folks get value stream management confused with value stream mapping. They think value stream management is value stream mapping.
That's an unfortunate acronym.
Yeah.
It is. And we're doing a little bit of that here, confusing our visualizer with a value stream mapping tool. We've been doing that a little bit in our own way. And so we're kind of correcting some of that. Anyway, it's very interesting. You're right. Value stream management is not value stream mapping. Value stream mapping is something you do when you're managing your value stream.
So
did I say that in the right way? Because if I say it the wrong way, you're going to call me out on it.
No, I didn't. That sounded right to me.
All right, cool. I didn't have to blow the whistle. We're good.
Okay, good. Cool. Tim, next question. Maybe we will get through all these.
All right. So question number 4. Who in a company is primarily responsible for value stream management? So who needs to take ownership of this?
I think it has to be both top down and bottom up. You have to engage the people that are doing the work in the decisions about their work. They know it the best. Yet at the same time, you've got to have top management support, and it helps to have someone knowledgeable, very knowledgeable in lean and very knowledgeable in improvements and organizational change, helping each individual group in a large organization make these changes, lead them, support them, push it through, make sure it doesn't get dropped, give them guidance and advice, help them learn the Toyota kata, do the coaching kata. So I think the answer is everyone. Everyone's got to pull the proverbial andon cord if something's not working well, and call for a Kaizen moment for continuous improvement.
Wow, we threw out a lot of lean there, didn't we? Kaizen, andon cord.
Trying to get my buzzwords in there.
Yeah. So
I got them all written down on a sticky here. So.
Do you?
No, but that's critical. Go ahead.
This interesting as I'm listening to you, Andrew, I'm reminded of some of the things that I read years ago and was involved in when it came to managing manufacturing value streams. When you did a Kaizen, the managers just didn't sit around themselves. They actually took the people who are in those cells and talked about how they could improve their work. They brought them into that process. And I remember reading in one book, it's the responsibility of the manager in manufacturing. And I think this was a Toyota Way book I read years ago. I don't know, God, the book must have been years ago, is to enable the workers to improve and do continuous improvement. and listen and implement what they have to say. So you're right. Based upon what I've read there and what I've experienced, it's both.
Yeah.
But I think, and I know we disagree on this point, the industry is going to this place where they have value stream managers. Now, manufacturing has had those for a long time.
Yeah.
And what's the role a value stream manager would play is the thing that we talk about a lot. Now, when I worked in manufacturing, you had value stream managers. And then you had this other thing called an expediter. The expediter was supposed to make sure everything was ready in a particular part of the value stream to perform the work of that cell, whether that was, putting the parts together, making sure they had all that. That's the expediter. To me, a value stream manager is not and shouldn't become this expediter. And that would be a problem. I said that years ago. So should there be? I know that we disagree or have different opinions on this. Should there be a value stream manager?
I think a couple of the scaling agile frameworks or methodologies, they advocate or support a value stream manager.
And what are they going to do
in there?
So if you've got an agile person who's going to become a value stream manager, I don't know. I have an interesting opinion on that. And I know Andrew's is different. Well, Andrew, your opinion is different than that, right?
What's yours, Andrew?
Now, I forced him to say something contrary.
I stopped listening to you when you said, well, back in manufacturing, what we used to do. One thing that turns off software development people like me is when the manufacturing people come around and tell you how to do your job.
Get that whistle going,
if
Tim.
you're like me, chime in on the chat and say, yeah, down with the manufacturing. I shouldn't be that way. We in Agile, we do like to draw from learnings from other people, even though I sometimes grouse about it.
It's all fun.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that I have anything more to say. I think every organization is different. You got to look around at your particular problems and the people that you have, and try to decide how are we going to affect change. And I think, as I already said, I think it makes sense to have someone with those skills in the organization, and you've got to have support from top management, and you got to have the workers involved. I got nothing more to say about that.
But do you think the industry is going to go create this whole process? Like in Agile, we have, lean training. Well, not lean training, but there's, I used to be a certified Agile professional years ago for managing scrums and all that stuff like that I used to do.
Back in manufacturing?
After manufacturing. So are we going to do that? We're going to have software development, value stream manager, black belts and green belts, or...
well,
I don't think we should have that, but I think we should have training, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we should have certified value stream management managers.
Well, I think value stream is more. You can have more than a software delivery value stream, right? So
no, you can't, because that's all we do. We don't do the other ones. Those don't exist. Never mind. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, what I'm trying to say is this is a bigger world, right? I mean, yes, it depends on the domain, right? And it frustrates me sometimes when I see these value stream mapping diagrams and they got a picture of a factory on it, and I'm like, why? Why is a factory? And so it's like, just because basketball works great in basketball doesn't mean it will work great in baseball, right? To use the referee.
Wasn't there a movie called Basketball or something? Wasn't there like a basketball?
I mean,
that was a movie.
Yeah, and that's the same principle here. This is a different. It depends on your domain, right? And I think the mapping and the representation. It's that's why I think you need to take it more from the architecture and domain that you're trying to represent and capture the information based upon what's appropriate for that domain. And then you can apply okay, I need to make sure, I reduce, I have optimal flow and removing all the bottlenecks and things of that nature and the best practices that that was mentioned by Andrew. But you gotta put what did they say? Put the cart before the horse. I mean, you gotta really understand the domain first. Before you just jump to and just start putting factory picture icons on a map. Sorry.
Well, I really like when you think about these things, I really like the whole value stream management thing around governance models, right? You map out your governance model. I really like that. I just got interrupted back here. I know it threw me for a moment. But you remember, and I learned that when I was with Leading Agile about understanding governance models, and that's more appropriate, I think, toward a value stream map rather than the value stream map, right?
Yeah.
And measuring between your governance models in comparison to manufacturing to software delivery.
Yeah, I suppose particularly if you're, and I would even just say that I know Eric will agree with this, is even capability modeling is in many cases probably more valuable than actually mapping out the value stream map. That might, be an interesting.
That's where I think
to see if there's some people that probably disagree with that statement. I'd be interested in being challenged on that. But.
Yeah, I totally agree. To me, I'm seeing less and less. Okay, I think what's going to end up happening is, and what we're seeing is that, or what really needs to exist, or maybe it does exist. Maybe maybe that's something that we'll do. But I think you need a domain level type of language, whether it's visual or whatever, to be able to capture what are the capabilities for my domain, right? And derive the value streams. But that detail does not have to provide the overall end-to-end perspective. But it really needs to make sure that it captures the sequence of activities that the business needs to undertake to produce or realize that value back to its customers. I think should be the guiding theme. Because value streams are not capabilities, nor are they components of capabilities, right? But they help to inform and validate the capabilities that need to be delivered. Right?
So we buzzed around this question quite a bit, but I don't think we've answered it. And so I'm going to try to stab at an answer, right? So my stab, it's going to be, your IT director, your operational people who are there making sure that work flows right and gets it done. To me, it's going to be somebody at that capacity. It's not going to be your development manager or your QA lead or something like that. It's somebody in the organization that has a better arching whole perspective of what's going on to develop software. And a lot of times those people exist in your operational organizations. And I know a lot of people in the organization or in this market are saying it's a transformation of your PMO that's coming to a value stream management play. That may be true. That may be absolutely true. But I see more of somebody in an operational mindset to go do this, to go do value stream management, whether that's a IT director or a operational person to go and say, here's how we do it. Sales operations, this is what they do for sales.
Yeah. Right? Exactly. I think the other confusion is when we're saying operation and operational, we're talking beyond IT, right? A lot what's happening in the market that we're seeing is the business is becoming more operationalized, right? And Lance, you mentioned sales ops, legal ops, marketing ops.
Well, sales ops is actually a thing right now that's been around for a long. Sales operations has been around for a long time. Now, legal ops, marketing ops, all this other ops stuff is somebody new trying to figure out how to put their thing onto the DevOps plate. But sales operations, I mean, there are, senior vice presidents in charge of sales operations in organizations. On the other hand, this is where my point of view goes even further, is that DevOps engineers aren't going to be value stream management people. They have a finite things to do, the DevOps engineers, right?
Yes.
They do something different than this.
Yes, they're a critical part of a particular value delivery value stream.
Right.
And other operational business units as well, right?
Right.
And so it's basically being able to connect those together, right?
So the software developer,
right?
So software developers are going to work on developing their software. And should they really be worried about value stream management? No, they should be worried about doing their story points, getting their user stories delivered, doing all that. Software development management may want to know a little bit more. A DevOps engineer is working to make sure that it's getting built, put into production, doing all that. That is part of the value stream, but it's not the whole thing. It's not the OKR to epics, to user stories, to actual connected to a piece of code. You have to have somebody who understands all of that and then uses lean and systems thinking principles to find waste to remove that. And that's waste from a lean perspective, lean development, the 8 areas of waste that are defined within lean. So somebody has to have that knowledge and use it across the whole organization to make it more efficient and to achieve your business outcomes. When you start to look that way, you're like, okay, now I'm looking at how does this help me achieve my outcome? How does this help me move forward? A value stream management person should understand some of that, know that this is why this needs to move faster and quicker. It's not, I don't think it could be anybody but in more of an IT operational capacity right now, in reference, Eric, to managing a software delivery value stream. I know you were talking about capacities and all these other value streams. Just want to remind you that ConnectALL mostly works in software delivery value streams.
I know. We're not toting the company line.
Blow the whistle. Come on, blow that whistle at least once before this webinar's over, Tim.
I'll do it to end the webinar. How about that, Lance?
Okay, man. I don't want to finish that point because Eric's absolutely right. Those value streams he talks about should prioritize things in the value stream we talk about.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is
any last thoughts on the communication?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Any last thoughts on this, Andrew? Before I
don't think I would have put it so strongly as Lance did about them having that they would are best or more likely to have come from operations. I think there's a lot about the software development processes that, and also just organizational hierarchy, where I think it's equally as likely to be that director of software development that came up and knows a lot about Agile and who's become a student of Lean. I think that is equally as likely, maybe not more likely, and not better necessarily. But I think there's, and I don't know, and maybe the DevOps movement will correct my thinking on that, is that too often operations directors and software delivery directors have had their own world, their own experiences, and their own priorities. And more as those things come together, then this dichotomy that I made should go away.
Yeah,
I agree with the other point, though. Hierarchical representation or in an organization, somebody who is a director of software development can start to think the whole way. Somebody kind of owns the whole process as well. So I'm not going to, I think you're right too there, Andrew.
Fiefdoms are hard to overcome, and they both have their power, and the software people in the past have said, operations, keep your nose out of my business. And the operations in turn say, okay, you can't play. You don't know nothing about hardware and operating systems and managing infrastructure. So, you stay out of the I&O organization. And they have that client where we worked at, Lance, remember they had a whole building for I&O.
Yeah.
They can't.
Well, I guess the operational people got to Andrew.
They shut him down, but
yeah, they didn't like what he had to say at all.
But it's true. It's true what he's saying there.
Oh yeah, your screen froze, Andrew. That's why we're joking.
Must have had a network glitch. Sorry about that.
That's right. Those operations people on the network. Anyway, Tim, we're coming up on the hour, so
we sure are. Yeah,
I told you we would not get to your slides.
Not at all. So we've got about 5 minutes left here. So I guess just the last thing that let's go ahead and move to this final question. So I want to give you guys each about a minute. Go ahead and share one unconventional or unpopular opinion that you may have regarding VSM. So we'll go ahead and start with you, Lance, if you're ready. At the end of the minute, I'll blow my whistle and then we'll go to Andrew and we'll go to Eric. So Lance, you have the floor for 60 seconds.
I'm sure that most of mine are not conventional to what we're talking about today. But I'm going to use the one we started this one with, and that is value stream management is not a feature, right? And I've been saying that for a little while. It's not a feature. And I think might be unconventional to the other people in our industry that we're working with.
Excellent. Andrew, what would you say to this?
I'm not sure. I guess I don't know if it's an unconventional thing, but I think a lot of people don't really think about what value stream management is and isn't. I think most people are just when a statement is made, they just accept it hook, line, and sinker, or they nod their head and go along with it and don't really challenge some of the claims that are being made. I think I see people making it too much about agile or too much about DevOps or too much about mapping or too much about tooling. And I think that is the thing that I've been saying that I've not heard anybody else repeat or echo or agree with me. So I may be unconventional there.
Perfect. And you said that in exactly 54 seconds, so right under time. All right. Eric, go ahead and finish this off. What's an unconventional or unpopular opinion that you might have here?
I think I probably stated it already, but the communication mechanism in the value stream mapping that is being advocated right now, I think is going to change. And I think it's going to become more of a visual communication based upon the domain needed to deliver the capabilities, right? So it's the communication attributes or the language is going to change from what exists right now.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for giving your thoughts here. It was very interesting to hear some of the back and forths going on and just to especially hear about some of the areas where opinions may differ. I think as Helen mentioned earlier in the chat, there's no right or wrong, just a different perspective. Unless you disagree with Lance, then you're wrong. So thank you, gentlemen.
That's not true. That's not true at all. It's my pleasure to work with people that are smarter than I am, and all three of you are. So it's great to be able to work with you, three smart gentlemen here at ConnectALL.
Well, if any of you guys in the audience have any questions that you'd like to discuss with us, or if you'd want guidance on where to start for your VSM journey, feel free to reach out to us at sales@connectall.com. And as I promised Lance earlier, I'll go ahead and break our webinar with a quick whistle toot. And we will finish up. Thanks, everybody. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And thanks for joining us.